Tough outing here in Texas. NC State loses 7-2 to the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Zach Sawai here for PackTV alongside Logan Ward. Had us on the edge of our seat there in the first period after NC State went down 4-0. A few late goals there by Nikita Anastradov and Tyler Alfanzetti, but too little, too late. At the end of the day, NC State goes into tomorrow 0-1.
And that was just a really bad first period. They had a much better second and third period, and the shots were almost even. They just couldn't get anything. Solid job on defense. Just all around a rough loss for State.
Questionable officiating throughout, of course, as we saw throughout the final part of the game. There was some questionable penalties that were called on State when it was all too but out of hands for them. Something to look into tomorrow, or do you think that it'll be resolved soon?
I think it should be resolved, honestly. It's a one-game thing. You got to always expect that it'll be better next game. There were a couple questionable calls, yes, but again, I don't think there's anything much more to that.
Talk a little bit about Tyler Alfanzetti's goal heading into that one. Did bring a little bit to life there in the second period.
Well, it was a great goal. You know, it helped get a little bit of momentum back, even though it was a little bit too late, as you said. Again, on a short-handed goal, Alfanzetti just did a great job getting in front of the net and putting it in there. Goalie couldn't react in time. Alfanzetti getting that first goal there. A little bit of life, but just not enough.
That goal was strikingly similar to the goal that he scored up in Delaware to win that game all the way back in November. Most Ice Pack fans do remember listening to that one, of course. But the biggest story of today, Coach Gazzillo is usually not a fan of goaltending changes, but he went into this one, and he go ahead and took Alex Rossetto's advice there. Josh Cannon took the start in there, and the team arguably played better once Josh Cannon was put in net.
Yes, they did, and Coach Healy talked a little bit about that in our interview with him. Talked about how just having that fresh goaltender makes everybody kind of relax a little bit. Well, not relax, but kind of play a little bit differently, you know? Sharpen up a little bit, and it really can just be a game changer, a little bit of a change in momentum with somebody else back in net.
As we wait on head coach Mike Gazzillo here at the NC State Ice Pack, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about what this loss means for NC State here in Nationals. We'll be right back.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Wolfpack. Located in the Ridgewood Shopping Center off of Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop recently expanded from 2,400 to 5,400 square feet. Whether you're in need of tailgating essentials, decals and magnets, home goods, apparel for people of all ages, or sporting goods, the Red and White Shop has it all. Stop by today for your NC State needs.
Did you know that NC State Transportation offers alternative ways to get to and around campus for faculty, staff, and students? Line bikes and scooters, Wolfline buses, and Carpool offer incentives to encourage the use of alternative modes of transportation. Faculty, staff, and students are awarded daily passes as members of the Wolf Trails program. For more information on alternative transportation and Wolf Trails, visit ncsu.edu/transportation. NC State Transportation, moving you to succeed.
At Potbelly, everything you find is a little bit happier, sweeter, fresher, groovier, and yummier. Why? Because at Potbelly, we know it's never enough to just eat lunch. You gotta feed your smile. Swing by for our new turkey club, handcrafted to make you smile.
This is Cheddar.
Live from the New York Stock Exchange.
Coming to you live from the White House.
Here in Los Angeles.
We're live at Apple's iPhone 10 unveil right now.
It's a one-stop shop for the latest in tech, business, and media.
Watch us live.
Watch us live.
Tune in live.
Watch us live.
Why don't you welcome back to Texas here, Zach Sawai here for PackTV alongside Logan Ward after a very heartbreaking loss there for NC State. Their undefeated season sadly does come to an end in this one, but there was still a lot left in the tank there. And this is the best thing about this team, Logan, and we can talk about this for a little bit here, is the fact that these guys made it this far. And we try to touch on that a little bit in our pregame show. This was an encore. They really set out to achieve everything that they had this season, and now they came out defeating all odds, winning the ACC tournament, getting past regionals, and now that they're here, and while it was a rough first game, there's still a chance for them to advance here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This by far is not done. We're still in round robin. They've got at least 2 more games here, so nothing is set in stone. 2 more games against UNC. That's the next one. You know, they got to be looking forward to that one. So really, game's not over yet.
The University of Northern Colorado. You're probably thinking the Tar Heels. We don't talk about that. So, University of Northern Colorado, that's a 10 a.m. match tomorrow. You know, it's going to be a quick turnaround tonight. They're going to have to go home, get some rest, all that cool stuff here. Head coach Mike Gazzillo is just arriving here. But the biggest thing is there's still 2 games left. Yeah. What do they need to do to forget about this one?
They've really just got to move on. Put this in the past, look forward to the future. Again, this isn't over yet. They've really just got to keep working, get back on track, make the right moves, do whatever they got to do to just get in the mindset that you haven't played yet, just keep going.
Now, the biggest things to note, of course, is while UMass will take the pool lead in terms of standings, UNC Colorado, along with Trine, actually tied up today. 2-2 was the final, so they have 1 point. What does this mean exactly? As long as State wins their next 2 games, their chances are still relatively strong.
Yes, absolutely. Again, we can't specify enough that it's not over yet. State has a shot at this, especially with those 2 ties. If they win out, they have a very strong chance of advancing.
As we await head coach Mike Gazzillo right here on PackTV, we'll be right back here.
Owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Wolfpack. Located in the Ridgewood Shopping Center off of Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop recently expanded from 2,400 to 5,400 square feet. Whether you're in need of tailgating essentials, decals and magnets, home goods, apparel for people of all ages, or sporting goods, the Red and White Shop has it all. Stop by today for your NC State needs.
Did you know that NC State Transportation offers alternative ways to get to and around campus for faculty, staff, and students? Line bikes and scooters, Wolfline buses, and Carpool offer incentives to encourage the use of alternative modes of transportation. Faculty, staff, and students are awarded daily passes as members of the Wolf Trails program. For more information on alternative transportation and Wolf Trails, visit ncsu.edu/transportation. NC State Transportation, moving you to succeed.
It's a little bit happier, sweeter, fresher, groovier, and yummier. To feed your smile. Swing by for our new turkey club, handcrafted to make you smile.
Here with head coach Mike Gazzillo of the NC State Ice Pack, Zach Sawai here for PackTV, and for once, coach, I think I'm dressed better than you.
Nope.
Alrighty then. Coach, obviously this was a little bit of a hard loss for you guys, you know, coming in, first game in Nationals, but you guys knew coming into this one it was going to be difficult. What can you take away from this one heading into tomorrow?
Well, I mean, you know, we talked about negatives and positives, and I said negative, slow start, right? I mean, that too much to come back from, actually. But positives, we outscored them in the third period. Third period, we had some really good back checking. Guys played with heart. They never gave up. We got our 2 goals. Tyler's goal was great. I mean, he, just kept working his feet, and, we never stopped. Guys back checked hard. So, in a loss, you got to find positives, and we found them, and the guys understand that. And, I told them, losing hurts worse than winning feels good. And, things we haven't really experienced this year. So, I told them, no long faces on the bus. You don't have to get out. It's not hats and horns. But we lost, process it, and move on.
Nikita Anastradov yesterday touched a little bit on how Southern hockey versus Northern hockey takes place here. Being a New York native yourself, UMass, of course, being a Northern team, how do you think this Southern hockey team fared against the Northern team?
I mean, again, except for the slow start, and, maybe a couple of pucks that maybe the goalies would have liked to have back, I mean, that's just the reality of it. I'm not blaming because, you got 5 other guys on the ice. But, the slow start by the whole team is really what kind of hurt us. Other than that, if we had 3 games, 3 periods like we played the third, I don't know that it would have been a different outcome. I know it would have been a hell of a lot closer game.
And, of course, Coach, you're not a fan of goaltending changes, but today you did opt to put in Josh Cannon. Walk us a little bit through how that changed the mindset of some of the guys.
We just kind of felt, giving up a couple early, and, it affects, it's not like we don't have any faith in Joey, But sometimes you just get somebody else in there, and the guys sometimes play and realize, hey, maybe we are letting everybody down a little bit, and there's a sense of picking it up and all. again, I mean, these are things that happen. I'm sure in Joey's life he's been pulled before, and I'm sure in Josh's life he's been pulled before. I've pulled goalies before. I mean, it's just sometimes you have a feeling like maybe we just need to do something to break the momentum a little bit.
As always, Coach, thank you for your time. After this break, we'll be right back to wrap up just a little bit more right here on PackTV.
This is Cheddar.
Live from the New York Stock Exchange.
Coming to you live from the White House.
Here in Los Angeles. We're live at Apple's iPhone 10 unveil right now.
It's a one-stop shop for the latest in tech, business, and media.
Watch us live.
Watch us live.
Tune in live.
Watch us live.
The taunting Florida Gulf Coast Eagles are now taking the ice for warmth here at NC State. Now packs up, gets ready to go back to the hotel for the night. Zach Sawai here for PackTV alongside Logan Ward to wrap things up here. Logan, it was a tough game by all means, but there are some positive to take out of it. As Coach Gazzillo said, towards the end they did get a little bit better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Again, outscoring your opponent in the third period. Of course, you got to be proud of that. Rough first period, arguably a rough second period. Really, they just got to move forward on this one.
After all that was said and done, this was still a very good game that a Southern hockey team played against a Northern team in UMass. UMass coming in as the first seed, obviously. They did have a lot of good legs, considering they did not play competitively since February 17th.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This was a very impressive showing for Massachusetts. I feel this really shows that they're a legitimate #1 seed. They did a great job here, and we'll have to see how they do moving forward as well.
Now, as always, NC State, they're not done. They got 2 games tomorrow. Be sure to stay tuned into the ACHA network at 10 a.m. our time tomorrow. We're in Texas. I don't know time, so whatever time that is there back in Raleigh, you got you. It's 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Figure that out on your own time. You guys got it. I believe in you. Of course, and then Trine University, Sunday we'll be playing at some point there. We're going to get back to you on those times for sure there, but of course there's a lot left in the tank. Be sure to stay tuned to PackTV. Of course, we're going to release another couple interviews before tomorrow's match against the University of Northern Colorado. Be sure to stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching and making sure that we're able to, keep doing what we're doing. We're so excited to be bringing you live coverage and behind-the-scenes work as well. For PackTV, on behalf of Logan Ward, I'm Zach Sawai. We'll see you tomorrow.
Locally owned and operated by an NC State graduate, the Red and White Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Wolfpack. Located in the Ridgewood Shopping Center off of Wade Avenue, the Red and White Shop recently expanded from